Hi and welcome to another Expert Insights video. I'm glad to welcome along Brannon Poe.
Thank you, Matt. Glad to be here.
Good stuff. So Brannon is the CEO of Poe Group Advisors. Could you tell us a little bit more about Poe Group, please?
Sure. We are a firm specializing in business brokerage for CPA firms. Currently, we're operating in the southeastern United States and Canada. We're just expanding. We just signed a new person in New York and Massachusetts, and we'll be covering the Northeast soon as well.
Cool. Great. Well, that's what I wanted to focus in terms of brokering firms and accounting firms, either buying or selling their firm. I wanted to talk about, I guess, the wider things around marketing around that, because obviously this is part of our month of marketing. So my first question was that when a firm is thinking of selling, do they need to put together like a specific marketing plan to kind of market themselves to prospective buyers?
Well, that's really the purpose that we serve. We put together a package so that we can send it out to prospective buyers. The whole marketing that we do typically is to generate that network of buyers so that people have buyers kind of ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
However, that said, I think one thing firms really need to keep an eye on when they're selling their firm is to keep the trends going in a positive direction. So you want to keep that revenue growing. You want to keep the firm growing because that's what buyers are looking for. They don't want to see declines in revenue. So
Mm-hmm.
from that perspective, marketing is very important.
Okay. And obviously I think what you've just talked about there, the main thing in selling a firm and getting a good price for it is a good and improving business model. But in that, how important are things like really great branding, client testimonials, some of those intangible marketing assets? How important are they in the overall kind of value of what you can get for your firm?
Well, I think it's an indirect value. I think if you're constantly doing those things, you're going to create a more valuable practice.
Mm-hmm.
And what buyers sometimes aren't always looking at how you got there. They're looking at where you are.
Okay.
So if you're continually, I think firms that continually invest in marketing tend to be more profitable. Their margins tend to be better. They tend to have they have enough new clients coming in to where the clients that are leaving or that they even want to leave aren't. It's not as it's a healthy kind of churn, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So the ongoing marketing efforts that are just good business practices are like any other good business practices, and that creates more value for your practice.
Yeah, got you. Do you think a firm can ever openly advertise that they're wanting to sell themselves, or does it have to be kind of behind closed doors?
I will say that most people who are selling are very concerned about confidentiality, and I think for the most part that is a smart concern.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think clients will flee necessarily, but if it's known in the community that you're going to sell, the biggest impact might be on your staff because they'll get afraid of the changes that are coming and they might start looking for another position. Clients, probably not as big a risk in all reality, other than if other firms in the area are aware that you're going to sell, they might go after some clients that they know are clients of your firm.
Okay. With some of the kind of you've probably seen quite a few really successful firms over the time that you've been working in Poe Group Advisors. Do any of those firms share similar marketing strategies or tactics that make them really effective? Are there any trends that you've seen?
That's a great question. I'd say a lot of the firms some of the best firms just provide really good service, and they're going to generate a lot of referrals. But I think a good web presence
Hmm.
is a good part of a good referral strategy.
Hmm.
Um, and you could probably elaborate on that some, but
Yep.
I think a good web presence. Um, Web now is so critical for just the first impression of the firm.
Hmm.
It's often, if somebody gets a referral, the first place they're going to go is the website, and you only get one shot at that impression.
Yeah, we always talk about sealing the deal. That's the most important part of the website is that, yeah, somebody does, they get referred. They're going to trust the person who referred them, but they're still going to do some due diligence, fire your name into Google, and check your website out. And I think that's almost the major part of what a website does. There are some other things beyond that you can do. Do you see any firms doing anything really innovative and particularly in the States or Canada that beyond referrals to get a regular stream of leads?
Um, not that's common. Honestly, I
Hmm.
haven't seen a tremendous amount of marketing innovation from
Yeah.
our clients, and most of our clients who are selling, obviously, are well, there's usually an older generation that's selling, and they might not be as tech savvy.
Yeah.
Um, I think we've seen some buyers do some interesting things once they
Hmm.
take over. One thing we see in the U.S. more and more is financial services firms, attempting to purchase CPA firms and
Okay.
do that and cross sell
Yeah.
the two different, um, with the client base. So I don't know how innovative that is, but I think financial planners who buy CPA firms and can figure out a great way to cross sell
Hmm.
do very well. So I think um, cross selling might be room for innovation, right?
Yeah. I guess I probably shouldn't. Yeah, I actually hate the word innovation because I think I once read that anything that's considered like an original idea in marketing, you should probably run a mile from and just do the thing that's been proven to have worked. And I think there's a lot of truth in that. That for example, referrals that the thing that works isn't just because it's not cool doesn't mean it isn't the thing you should be doing. So
And one thing we do, we tell our buyers when they purchase firms is because they're gonna be most purchasers are a little afraid of the client losses they're going to
hmm.
experience. So we tell them, the best strategy is a good referral strategy and get used to sort of asking for referrals and develop ways to do that.
Hmm.
So, and and cross selling.
Yeah.
I mean, just those are the things that we typically recommend when a new buyer
Yeah.
takes on a firm and they want to grow it.
Which really, even for any business, beyond accountants, is kind of the basic stuff. Is get um, word of mouth referrals and sell to existing clients because the cost of acquisition is well, there isn't a cost of acquisition, so
Right.
they're the first two things that you do, right? But so often people miss those things and go after the shiny stuff, like whatever the trend of the day is.
Yeah. But we tell them to put referrals like in their regular communications, figure out a way to work that request in
Yeah.
or so that has been we've seen that be very effective for people who purchased.
Hmm. It's a numbers game, isn't it? Like I know I have a friend locally who's got a small accounting firm. He's got very good service. He's got very good kind of model. But every year, his marketing solely consists of sending an email out to all of his clients, um, asking them to refer somebody to him, and I think he gives them a month of free fees. And every year that tops up his client base to the point that he needs it, and he's
Right.
very happy. He's got a very nice lifestyle, and that's what he does. So many
Yeah.
firms don't. They just wait for referrals to land, I think, rather than it could be like you say, making sure it's on all your communications, asking after a meeting, and it's just a numbers game, isn't it? Like, most of those times people won't do it, but the few times that do will probably give you enough new clients.
Well, and I think it does two things, and like you say, it's a touch thing. It's the more you touch them, the more likely they're actually going to act on it.
Yeah.
So the clients that we've had that have asked, two things happen. They get referrals, but also it puts out the wish for more business. And so we see that a client, they may not have a referral in mind, but they go, oh, you're looking for new business? Well, we have this project that we've been thinking about getting some help on. Maybe you could help us with this.
Yeah.
So it has that purpose. It serves that purpose as well.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually. I remember reading a story about a guy who had a web design business, and he said he went round every time he met somebody. They asked him how he was, and he always said, oh, really busy, too busy. And he never got any word of mouth business, no referrals. And he read a book about, you should ask for referrals. So he started asking a few people, and they were like, oh yeah, we would have given you referrals in the past, but you always said you were too busy. So
yeah,
I think there is that mindset thing of, you've got to put it out there that, it doesn't look desperate to be asking for new business. It's a healthy thing to be doing and asking for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So final question would be, in a previous business that I had, we went through a process where we were going to sell the business, and we got in, I guess, effectively a broker. And he said to me, like, are you ready for a new job? I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you've got your job running the business, and now you're going to have this other job, which is full time, and that's getting the business ready to sell. So my question to you is, what's the advantage to a firm of working with a broker like yourself? Is it that it saves time, or what are the benefits beyond that?
Thanks for that question. That's a good question. I think there's a few benefits. For one, it definitely saves time. It saves, we have three goals for every practice that we sell. We want to net people more on the sale of their business than if they were to do it on their own, even after paying our fee. Now, I think we do that a number of ways. Part of it is we're marketing. We're in this business all the time. We're constantly getting new buyers to sign up. We have a large database of buyers. The other thing is we understand the market, so we help people price their practice, to get top dollar. The other thing is we do want to make the process really simple. And we've worked really hard to get processes, and they evolve every year to improve. But the biggest compliment we can get from a client is, "Wow, that was pretty easy." Yeah, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. Because a business owner has a business to run. You got to keep mindful of the trends. You've got to stay on the ball. And the other thing is we want our buyers to succeed. So we add a lot of value to the people who buy our businesses because we actually help them, figure out how to notify clients of the change, how to approach the employees, just all of those transitional issues. We have a lot of experience with transitions, so we try to consult with our buyers to help them effectively, take over the practice and succeed in it.
Fantastic. Hey, that's brilliant. Well, we'll wrap it up there, Brannon. What we'll do is include information on your website, and particularly your blog and podcast, which I really enjoy. You've got some excellent information on there, so people can get in touch with you through those methods.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Matt. I've enjoyed doing this with you.
Yeah, great. Thanks for your time. All right. Cheers, man.